gone in a heartbeat, and all of our lives will soon change. The following lyrics by Led Zeppelin should strike a chord with all of us as we move into the next season of our lives. Leaves are falling all around. It's time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged for such a pleasant stay. But now it's time for me to go. The autumn moon lights my way. I know I've got one thing I've got to do. Ramble on. Now's the time is now to sing my song. Hopefully all of us have had a pleasant stay over our 4 years at Medina High School. During our time at MHS, most of us have become comfortable in our own niche. Maybe you've been the captain of the football team, been an active member of student council, or have participated in all of the school plays. Our peers all know us individually as a certain type of person. Although we're now graduates, this is commencement, and now is truly the time to ramble on and find your own moonlit paths to go down. When we look at a song, we see one meaning at first, but when we look deeper into the lyrics, we find brand new meanings that we never knew were there. This is also what happens when we become introspective. Now's the time is now to discover who we really are. Don't get discouraged if you're not on a career path right after you graduate. A generation ago, my friend's father sat at a ceremony much like this one. He didn't have a clue what he wanted to do, so he went to California, bought an old beat-up limo and lived out of it for a year simply to find out what it really was he wanted out of life. Today, he's a highly regarded entrepreneur and runs several successful businesses. Don't be afraid to explore the parts of you that have not yet blossomed. The stereotype you're categorized as in high school does not define you. Embrace the nerd, the weirdo, the athlete, the social butterfly, that inner rock star who is just dying to get up on stage and melt some faces. Start looking for the parts of yourself that you don't even realize exist. Like latent genes, there are latent aspects of your personality beginning to emerge. In the many years to come, you'll still be learning new things about yourself. A lot of you, mostly the parents, know Brian May of the hugely popular rock band Queen. He became a rock star and skyrocketed to fame with his band, but what most people do not know is that many years after the musicians disbanded, he returned to his studies of mathematics, began to explore his interest in space. He embraced his inner nerd and became an astrophysicist. Ronald Reagan was one of the most famous actors of his time until he took up an interest in politics. We all know how that story went. The world will always remember the impact of Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. This also goes to show that you're never too old to explore your ever-changing self, but I would suggest there's no time like the present to begin. As you get older, increasing responsibilities will make it harder to dive deeper into your exponentially complex personalities. The majority of you will go on to have spouses, children, and of course, 9-to-5 jobs with little time left over. While the time is ripe, get crazy. Go all out. You don't know what you don't know, but if you take my advice, you're about to find out what you're about to find out. In the words of the great Queen of Arendelle, Elsa, it's time to see what I can do, to test my limits and break through. Pushing boundaries in your own way should be the goal of every new graduate in this room. As you go out into the world, don't pigeonhole yourself into one category. Test your limits. Let the moon light your way as you ramble down new paths. Uncover your hidden meanings, and you will find yourself to be a multi-dimensional being who could really make a difference in the world. Yes, who you've become during your high school years has been formative to your person, but you are not frozen. It is only the foundation of who you will be. Use the next few years to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and ultimately you'll find true happiness in knowing you thoroughly explored every aspect of your personality. Now's the time. The time is now to discover who you really are. Thank you.
Thank you, Bailey. Medina High School graduating class of 2014.